Good morning and welcome to the Elevate Renatus team call. Today is Monday, April 12th. It's Money Monday. I'm excited to be here with you today. My name is Keely Austin. I am your host today. We've got a couple of announcements to go through and then our money mastery exercise and then a fantastic trainer with us today. Our quote of the day is accept responsibility for your actions, be accountable for your results, and take ownership of your mistakes. We've got our dates for Leadership Retreat. We're going to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. That is August 20th through the 24th. To qualify for Leaders Retreat, you need to be 1-star, 3-star, or 5-star qualified. Every Monday at 4 p.m. Mountain Time. So today we are having our Renatus Founders Live. That is our opportunity on a weekly basis to connect with our CEO, Bob Snyder, as well as connect with the entire nation. This is an important call to be on because we hear a lot of important announcements that the company may have, as well as some great recognition to see who's out there making big things happen in their businesses. We also get a training and a story of the week. So make sure you are present for the Renatus Founders Live at 4 p.m. through the Facebook page, Renatus Founders Live. And if you're not able to make it at 4, just catch the replay. We've got our national study groups happening every single Monday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. We are currently making our way through the essentials courses. The Renatus Helios app. I love this app. There's so many great features. One of my favorite features is that you are notified when you get paid your commission. You also get notified whenever you have a guest checked into an event. That way you know that they are present and checked in. And then there is a brand new Money Mastery episode uploaded to the app every single day, and you get to share that with your guests if you have them also download the app. So a lot of great features. They're continually making it better and better, so make sure you're getting it updated regularly. And make sure to give it 5 stars. You can do that by just going to the App Store, and you should see an option to give it a rating just through the App Store itself. Every week and every day, we have so much support with Team Elevate Renatus, and I'm so grateful for that. So every week we have our Private Capital Masterclass. That's Thursdays at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, where we invite AIT students to come to this masterclass and talk all things private capital, where you can learn how to start really taking some serious action towards building private capital for your business. And then we have our daily real estate action mastermind, the Dream Call. That is Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 9:45, sometimes 10 o'clock. And we talk all things real estate investing. So that's right after this call, where today and every day on our marketing call, we talk business, marketing, mindset, and personal development. We do ask that in order to participate in the Private Capital Masterclass and the Dream Call, that you are a part of the optional event subscription, the OES. You can sign up for the OES through the website that you see on the screen, www.oesoes.com. And you can also watch a short video that Michael Huggins put together, and it just talks a little bit about what the OES is, what comes with it, and why that's beneficial to you and the team. If you're looking to introduce any of your guests to the Profits Education, a great way to do that is to get them in front of Scott Rowe. Scott Rowe does a presentation, an intro presentation every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Of course, make sure you register yourself and your guests in Helios, and that is where you'll also find the event. So just pull up the calendar in Helios, type in Profits in the search bar, and you'll see this pop up on Tuesdays. Every Wednesday, we have a virtual fix and flip house tour. Sometimes it's a flip, sometimes it's a buy and hold, short-term rental, long-term rental. We get a lot of different variety in the house tours, and it's a very powerful exposure for your guests. So make sure each and every week that you are building for these house tours and showing up and being fully present. Make sure that you're on time, make sure that you register. And these are, again, very powerful exposures for your guests, where they get to see the classes being put into action, and they're also getting to see what is being done in today's market. Lots of different acquisition strategies, exit strategies, and multiple classes being put to use. Every Thursday, we've got a few different options for you to attend. So on Thursdays at 4 p.m. Mountain Time, we have our corporate onboarding for newer students. And then everything else you see on the list here is at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. So we have another house tour on Thursdays. I just mentioned the Wednesday house tour. That is in English. So we also have a house tour on Thursdays that's offered in Spanish for your Spanish speaking guests. And then we have a Pillars of Wealth intro presentation, a Velocity Banking study group, as well as multifamily and short-term rental study groups every single week on Thursday. We do record these morning trainings. You can catch them on our Facebook page, as well as on YouTube. I'm a little bit behind on the YouTube channel, so give me just today, I'll make sure to get those uploaded to the YouTube channel, but you can always catch them on the Facebook page, whether you're there live or catching the replay. The Facebook page is Renata's Team Elevate, a lot of important announcements there, so make sure that you're a part of that page. You also get to ask questions and network with other students. And then our YouTube channel not only has many years worth of these trainings on there, so much value. We also have a whole playlist of Zoom up calls. If you were present for the Zoom up calls, you know that those are very powerful. They're just 15 or 20 minutes long, where we share different stories and interviews of students from across the nation. And they talk about why they joined Renatus and where they are because of Renatus. So really powerful stories there. Catch the Zoom up playlist on the YouTube channel. Today is Money Monday. We get to learn from Michael Huggins. But before we bring out Michael, we are going to shift over to our money mastery exercise, where we watch a short video that Woody Woodward put together on business. And then at the very end, there is a call to action. And we will take a few minutes to do the call to action. We would love it if you shared your thoughts on the call to action in the chat. All right, so let's shift over to that. Today is Money Monday. We get to learn from Michael Huggins. It is April 12th. I'm excited to be here as your host today. Michael Huggins is an incredible individual, and those of you who've met Michael and who know Michael can definitely attest to that. Michael has been in this business for over 10 years and has so much value and experience to share with us. Before Renatus, Michael was in a position where he was really frustrated and struggling because of student loan debt and wasn't able to pay bills. At the time, he was living in his girlfriend's mother's basement, working 2 full-time jobs, and just not making ends meet. So he knew he needed to make a change, and he had heard about real estate investing, and he looked into some opportunities. He actually found an ad for Renatus in the newspaper, and that's how Michael ended up getting involved with Renatus. He dove into his classes. He would stay up late at night to watch his classes, and sometimes he even had to stand up while he watched his classes so that he wouldn't fall asleep. He completed a couple of short sales and was able to quit both of his jobs. And since then, it's been over 10 years, like I mentioned, he has never had a job since because of the Renatus wealth system. Michael Huggins is on the PAC, the President's Advisory Council, with our CEO, Bob Snyder. He's completed many real estate transactions and is absolutely a key leader on the marketing side of this business as well. We are very fortunate to get to learn from Michael, who has earned millions of dollars marketing this business and just gives so much value. He's absolutely transformed his personality in the most beautiful ways over the last 10 years, from studying different personal development people as far as Jim Rohn and Napoleon Hill and many other amazing people. And we, again, are very fortunate to get to learn from Michael this morning. Good morning, Michael. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm doing great. Thanks for being here. Good morning, Keely. Good morning, Steve, Christine, George, everybody. Scott, what's up? Andres and Scott, other Scotts. All the Scotts are here. Awesome. Okay, Money Monday. Let's get after it. They say make hay while the sun shines. Well, folks, the sun is shining. So let's make some hay. The hay for us is leads, building lists, building more leads so that we have things to sell them. The interesting thing is that what we're getting you to do as a marketer in Renatus is the thing that is being done to you through all of these other marketing channels, whether you're using YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram or whatever. The things you're buying and the messages that you're seeing are following a protocol that we're asking you to follow so that people can see your message too. What am I wearing? I'm wearing a beautiful shirt. There you go. It's interesting. What are you wearing? Yeah, I'm wearing it without a tie. Can you believe that? Okay, so it's interesting. The question that Woody put in the Money Matrix video today was about how can you be thinking globally and be thinking cross professionalisms. And that's exactly what this Profit Summit is all about. All kinds of professionals, all kinds of industries being able to benefit and profit from this. That's why we called it Profit. I have a call with the pack right after this. And so what I'd like to do is take a bunch of your questions that you haven't found an answer to yet, whittle them down, and then I will go get some answers for you. Then we'll talk about it over the coming days. There is something else. Well, we wanted to finish up the 5 F's as well, but I do want to make sure and take some time and get your questions so that when we're over there, the clarity comes and then we can give it to you. I think we're 36 days away from the Profit Summit now. How many days until May 19th? 37 days. So we talked a lot yesterday or on Saturday about the funnel, right? And the money-making activities, find the people, tell the story, build for events, follow up. And then a BAM FAM, AFTO, and OEP. We got a whole new language here. Well, it's not new for us, it might be new for you. So I'm curious, when you hear the instructions, so you know what we're selling, and then you hear the instructions, all right, build for the summit. Here's your link. And some of you are like, yes, I want to. Thank you for the tool. And now it's been more than 2 weeks since nationals and you haven't done anything with it yet. So I'm curious, where's the disconnect? What are we missing between what is being provided and what's being asked of and what you're doing? What is the disconnect? I'm gonna get my whiteboard up so we can take some notes here. But I need some answers either voluntarily or I'll just call you guys, call on you.
I know I need to do a video.
I can tell you. Well.
Go ahead. Ladies first.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay. I can tell you what is my disconnect, let's say. First is my story that I'm telling to myself, that I'm not ready, that I'm not capable, that bullshit. And the second one is the perception that I have since the beginning that I joined, let's say, finding out how everything works. But it's basically myself.
Okay, so if I'm hearing you correctly, you're saying that what you're telling yourself, the result of what you're telling yourself is inaction. Okay. Have you tried telling yourself something different?
Yes, I'm working on it. I just wanna quit working on it.
Okay. Let's see. I had to ask though, just had to ask. Okay, so I guess one of the easiest ways of changing the story is to literally rewrite it. Like get your pen or pencil down and rewrite it. So I've been doing that over and over since about 10 years ago. All right, I just wrote out another thing here. Here's something I just wrote. I control my schedule. I enjoy my time. Right up here. Okay, so what if you started writing down, I put my marketing link everywhere effectively?
Yeah, the thing is that's basically one of the major things that I've noticed, not only in me, but my family. That is one of the most important things for me. It's my family, and I noticed the same patterns. I've been noticing. I know that writing I've been doing that and it hasn't worked. So it's like going back to what one of the essential classes that he says that we are different learners. Some are graphic, some are listeners, some are in pictures, you know. So for me, it was kind of like finding myself. What is it the way that I learn, or the way that I really do the things, and it's in action. Um, but it really has to connect with who I am. That's why I move forward to the things that I believe, like implementing things that I've been learning. That's why I do it, because this will help not only me but my foundation and my family. So I go and do it. And marketing, I felt offended, and until I get rid of that feeling, because nobody explained to me, so I was offended. It's not the person. It was my choice to decide that I was offended. And until I get rid of that feeling, I will move forward. So for me, basically, is getting rid of that feeling that I felt, and then make my own choice and moving forward. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it does come down to your feeling and the story that you're telling yourself, right? It's thoughts,
Yes.
actions, feelings, beliefs, they're all integrated.
Yeah.
So,
And it didn't speak to me. So like I said, if the class that I'm studying is speak to me and it will benefit me, then I will do it. But since marketing, I felt that, that's why I don't move forward. And I have to get rid of that.
feeling bad.
Yeah. Not feeling bad, but well, yes, offended. It's not a good feeling.
Yeah, that is pretty silly. Okay, so so since we know that we're making stories and oh, there's my story. So we know we're making stories, and the stories create our feelings, and those feelings lead to actions. Now, there's also something to be said, and it's been proven that although your feelings can lead to actions, your actions can also lead to your feelings. So some people are like, well, I will do it. Oh, there we go. I'll do it when I feel like it. But there's a bunch of evidence to show you that when you do the thing, then you will feel like it. So waiting to feel like it before doing it is kind of backwards. Right?
Yes.
Tony Robbins says it the other way. He says, motion causes, what is it? How does it end? Motion causes emotion. Right? So another way is doing causes the feeling. So you're waiting to say, as soon as I feel like a marketer, as soon as I feel like a marketer, then I'll do marketing. And my
No, what for me is like more like as soon as I don't feel like I got offended because nobody explained how it was. They was like I got offended. I find out this later, okay? I got offended because they just sold me whatever without explanation, and it's not their fault. It was my fault for not asking, you know. But me figuring it out, I got offended, not with them, with me for not doing what I was supposed to do. So
okay.
you gotta clear out that first in order to move forward and then create different emotion about it.
So what could be a more empowering
Which I'm
story?
doing, but I had to go through.
That's the old story. What's a new story we could start authoring right now? instead of being offended, even though that's your reality at that moment, what could be something new that's empowering because the old one is taking away your power?
Yes, that's what I was dealing with, and now I'm moving like forward. Obviously, I have to take control of my my not time, because nobody controls time, but my task that I'm going to do, and then that's when the writing comes down. I have to do this, this, and this, and respect that, and then move forward.
Okay, so what's an opposite word for offended that will give you a new sense of power?
Well, I come out with opportunity to grow myself.
Okay, what else? Offended turns to opportunity, or offended turns to we're just gonna, this word comes to mind, open. I'm either offended or I'm open.
Motivated.
Okay, we're going for O words. That's the theme. Going for O words.
Oh,
Okay, empowered. Let's start with an O, Tim. Opportunity, because it's easy to change the story. Our brain thinks in words all the time, right? So the story that she keeps having right now is offended, offended, offended. And so if we start something with an O, and we could trigger a different new story in her head. This is how we do it all the time. Overpowered. I like that. All right, let me tell Benjamin, have a nice nap. Hold on 1 second. Okay, it's nap time. Okay, we're getting obligated, on my way. Okay, interesting. Overpowered.
Has to be words that empower you, right?
Correct.
And
Oh, there we
obligated
go.
is not a good power. It's not a good word.
How about optimistic?
Optimistic, that's a good word. Yes.
Okay, so here we go. I think we found it, folks. The old story was I was offended, but now that I'm taking control, I realized that my new story is that I'm optimistic. I wouldn't have been able to see it without my optimism. So I'm being optimistic. Because right now this is your way of being, right? You're being offended. Instead, chooses being optimistic. I think that sounds easier. One, because to be offended, don't you have to keep choosing to be offended over and over? It's a choice, and you have to choose that offended you every day.
What about option?
Okay, I went from being offended to seeing my options. Being, but this is the key, it's the being, because we're constantly choosing how we're being, and that story leads to the feeling, leads to the doing. So I'll give you an example. When I became a PAC member, when I finally got to earn the privilege of being on the PAC, people asked me, how did that feel? What does it feel like now that you're on PAC? And I said, it doesn't feel any different, because in my mind, what I was doing in the company was already in my brain, the thing that a PAC member does. So my feeling was already, I was already feeling like one. And so by doing it, I became it. So it wasn't a surprise to me. It wasn't when I hit the $1 million pin, the $2 million, the $3 million, well, it wasn't a surprise to me because I was in my mind, I was already going to do it. So I started doing it, and now I feel like doing it, which reinforces the doing. So I guess for you, Sandra, what is the thing right here that you want? Is it just to be a marketer? That's fine. If you want to be $1 million marketer, then do that. But we got to get clear on that. We got to write that new story instead of, because you're coming at it from, I want to do this not thing. I want to be not offended. Don't do the nots. Saying something in the negative doesn't work. You have to pick something else. So I picked a doer. I'm a doer. My story is I'm a doer. When I find a good thing to do, I do it. Whether it's read books, watch classes, plant trees, travel, whatever. Mostly watch classes. Okay. So some people are like, well, as soon as I feel, right, we can replace pack with anything. As soon as I feel like watching classes, then I'll watch my classes. No. How about you start watching your classes, then you learn real estate, and then you'll feel like watching more classes, which means you'll start doing more, which means you'll start doing more, which means you'll start feeling more, which means you'll start doing more. To me, the question is, starts right here. What in the world do you want? Okay, then start doing that, and then you'll start feeling like it. Do you see the trap? There's a trap here. If you wait to feel like it, you see how that's gonna bite you in the butt? How do you say that in Spanish?
Exactly, I don't know, but it's kind of like.
No, I want the literal translation.
I don't know.
Bite the butt.
Oh,
And what about
muérdete el culo.
I could tell you didn't want to say that.
you asked for you asked this is one of the things. I mean, I have to be real with myself too, and I don't blame anybody. I blame myself, but I have to get over that. And yeah.
Well, okay. So now what you're doing is you're repeating the story, the new story. I'm so glad that this is you, Sandra, and we're working together through this. The new story is I have to get over it.
Yep.
Okay. So
I actually like your word a lot. Optimistic.
Well, if this is your new story about getting over it, and you continue on this of I gotta get over it, get over it, get over it. When did you decide that you're not over it?
When did I decide that I'm not over?
Yeah.
Today? I don't understand quite well. Not over?
Okay, so you're telling yourself the story that you have to get over it. So my question is, when did you decide that you are not over it? It's a weird question.
Yeah,
Oh, who was that?
So Michael, what Michael means is when did it become a problem for you? You heard me.
No, that's not what I'm asking. No, I'm asking that there was a moment in time when you decided that you are not over it because you are saying that you need to get over it. So that means that you still think that you are not over it. Well, that's a decision. So my question is, when did you decide that you are not over it?
So, Sandra, si entiendo bien a Michael, quiere decir que cuando tú pensaste que todavía no habías superado eso, o sea, como realizando, todavía me siento ofendida. O sea, ¿desde cuándo, o sea, volviste a empezar a sentir eso? Oh, when did I decide that the feeling that okay. Well, I started asking myself if this is something that I really want, and why I haven't moved forward to it. And I came up with stories like I didn't know how, and you know, I wrote out my map about it. So it's because I wasn't being true to myself, and being truthful it means a lot to me. And I'm like, cut the bullshit and be honest to yourself, and really come up with the right answer. Why are you doing it? And because I really felt offended because I didn't ask anything. And I was offended about me. At first I was offended about the person, but then I decided, no, if I blame somebody else, I'm not being responsible with me, with my actions. So then I was like, okay, this is the reason why I'm not doing it, because I've been telling, I want to do that because I get to talk to more people. I get to serve more people. And but I have to get over this. And I just finding out this last weekend. So that's why I'm here sharing.
Okay.
And and today I'm gonna make out my task and what I need to be doing, and then I move forward.
Okay, so then we can make another decision. Because this is the beautiful thing about being a human, is that the decision you could decide right now, not even that I'm over it, but yeah, I mean, we could just start right there, right? I'm over it. What's another way of saying I'm over it?
I'm
How
done.
about this? I used it.
I'm optimistic.
I'm optimistic.
Yeah. How
Well,
about this?
Michael,
How about-
couldn't we go back and just say I was never offended by this?
Yeah, you could, but if you don't address the feelings, then your brain might reject that and then just call you a liar.
Would you just say that it was a life lesson and something to learn from, and then you moved on from there and learned that lesson?
Yeah, but not just learned it. That's why I used it.
Okay.
Because what does Mother Nature do? If you throw poop at it, which is, what Sandra is saying, she needs to get over her BS or her bull poop, her bullshit. She needs to get over it. What does Mother Nature do when poop is thrown at it? Does it sit there and think, oh man, I really need to get over this?
It uses it, fertilized.
It uses it. It turns, I heard it said this way, it turns filth into fragrance. You guys ever heard that before? You ever heard it put that way?
So Michael,
From you many times.
I'm relating to this as something where she was offended, but now there's a trust issue that maybe she wasn't told something, but now it's really her responsibility to find out the information that she wasn't told. That information is available somewhere. And so we're back to the action. What action can be taken to get over the offense? So, yep, it's taking responsibility.
Right.
I was told when I joined, I was offended when I was told, if you're waiting for me to make you successful, you've already failed. I mean, that thing blew me out the water right after
Really?
I signed up a whole lot of all my money. But at the same time, it's what I needed to hear.
Nice. Yeah. 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 That's great news. That it's not up to someone else. He just said it, or she said it in a weird way, but but it's the truth. My results have nothing to do with your results. So that's I appreciate that perspective. So the decision would be, I used it. The action would be taking 100% responsibility, because once you are in that mode of taking responsibility, then you are able to turn that filth into a fragrance. Right? That's what this is going to be about. So instead of thinking get over it, that's the old way of thinking. I'm going to invite you to try on, how can I use this, whatever stinky situation I'm in, to make something fragrant and beautiful.
I think you can also say, when you're talking to people, that, dedicate to yourself, that you're going to make sure that you arm people with all the knowledge that you wished you had, and that you're going to try to answer people and be supportive in the way that you want it to be. So you can use that experience as a way to fuel you for your team and how you want to support them better than how you felt you were supported.
There you go. So I'm glad you came out here to share that, Sandra. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. I was thinking, what is my value, and what can I bring to help others? And it's me up. It's actually, like everybody says, it's your story, and whatever you're dealing with, it may be somebody else dealing with the same situation. So there you go. Thank you, Michael. And this resonates back to one of the super studies that you did, and also what it sticks to you, like when you listen, the words that stick to you is because they're there for you. So now that you're saying poop, now I remember when you put the example of the bamboo, that you said that everything a bamboo makes to it needs to grow, and one of those is poop, and poop is stick to my head.
Yeah.
So I needed to laugh, and I'm finding that, and optimistic is really a good word for me, because along the way I forgot how to laugh. So there you go, another good nugget for everybody that is making it too serious about it. No, let's laugh about it, because you need to find the fun in it.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Hey, Michael, can I share one thing too that I have learned that helped me too when I was in a really tough spot because of what people were doing to me?
Go for it.
So what happened? Well, actually, so this is from Tony Robbins. I went to a UPW, and what he had you do is think about, he helps people get rid of all sorts of phobias. Like people have had like snake phobia, all sorts of phobias, and he did it in 15 minutes. But basically all he does is says, okay, think about your problem. Now think about what it's going to do to you a year from now. What kind of situation you're going to be on, if that's still going to be a problem for you. What about 2 years from now? How's your life going to be? Who are the people going to be around? What kind of things are you going to be missing? And then now 5 years from now, think about that. How about 10 years from now, if that's still a problem? If you still make that a problem. How about 20 years from now, where are you going to be? And you just think about it and how terrible your life's going to be. And then after you've done thinking about that, now you rewrite it and say, my old story was, I was offended by blah, 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 blah. My new story is, I am optimistic about my future, or whatever it is, your new story. You run in the blanks, and you do that over, and then you do that a few times, and you feel it, and then you realize that that's no longer going to be an issue for you. Because for me, I had a problem with my family. My family was against me doing this, and I love my family, many of my siblings, and they didn't approve of me doing real estate, of me doing Renatus, and it really got me down for a couple of years. I was making no sales. I was barely making any money because I was feeling like I was offending them, that I didn't have permission to succeed because I didn't have my family backing me. But then I did that with Tony Robbins, and like instantly after that, I didn't care because my family's because I will not become a failure because my family wants me to be one, or because I feel like I want to appease them. So I stopped believing that, and now I just live for what I want to do with the success that I want to have. So that's maybe one thing you could probably do. It's really impactful when you do with Tony Robbins, but you can also do that for anybody on here, I think.
Love it. That's it, folks. You can't be trying to live and appease through someone else. Thanks for saying that, Tim. I appreciate you.
Hey, Michael, I have something.
Oh, Gamer Wolf, come on out.
Hey, so mine's more a matter of a semantics. I actually even reached out to corporate about my questions a couple weeks ago, and I've just still been waiting for it. I sent another email this morning. In fact, I just have
CC me on it.
Yeah, I CC'd you on it, and I got a response from Christian on it, but he said, I see your points and we're going to get you more information, and then more information never came. So you kind of know what I'm talking about. But my biggest question for you to reiterate to your members of your PAC call this morning would be, hey, how are we supposed to handle these strategy phone calls that the ICMs are supposedly going to be getting requested by their people that get registered in the funnels? Like, we don't know. I have no idea what that's supposed to look like. And so because of that, that's caused a huge hesitation in me even putting people in my funnel.
Okay.
I can tell you where you can see who registered. If you go to your Helios app on your phone, and hold on, I'm gonna walk through it.
Just to let you know, I know how to see it. I just don't want to do it, because then if someone signs up to have a phone call from me, what does that phone call consist of? That's my question. Like, as an ICM, I am not a profits strategist, which is what the bonus promises that person. So I don't know what I'm supposed to be engaged in conversation with that person, what that's supposed to look like. If I'm not an instructor for the course, I'm not a profit strategist, but that's what the bonus promises, and that's what I'm supposed to be providing as an ICM according to the language in that bonus.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. I will get that question answered. Yeah, what it really comes down to is like, these are my questions for you. Here's the task: market the summit. Okay, that's our task. Here's our tool. Use the link in the funnel that we made. Well, what outcome do we want? We want to build a list, enroll students, and sell education. So if we get to May 19th and 5 ICMs have 1,000 guests there, and then another 1,000 ICMs didn't do jack diddly squat, but we're going to sit there and scratch our head and say, okay, well, we told them what to do. We gave them the thing to do it with. We told them what we're all after. But what in the world happened right here? Work. And we've come at it from a bunch of different angles. And it's my concern, until we nail it down, that this is what us as the marketers are supposed to be doing. We're not supposed to be making funnels. We're not supposed to be making summits. We're not supposed to be making education. We're just supposed to sell it. So when you hear the instructions, market the summit, use the tool, why? So that we can build a list, enroll students, and sell education. How can I fill in the gaps? What else is missing? What can I help with in there?
Well, just for my concern, I mean, that's exactly why I'm confused, is because it seems like we're being given two separate expectations. Yeah. If you're supposed to lead generate, that's one thing. If you're supposed to be a profit strategist after you provide those leads into your funnel, then that's a completely other hat that you have to wear. And I haven't been told how to wear it or what that consists of. So that's just, I don't want to give myself work that I don't know how to accomplish.
Okay.
So push the summit so that way they can learn and clarify all their questions at the summit. They'll learn everything there. That's all you're trying to do is right at the moment is just push them to go to that summit. So that way they can learn and see what Renatus is all about. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, except for the fact that the bonus is promised that they will get a strategy call from their ICM before the summit if they click the box. And I'm not equipped to give that strategy call, so I don't want to leave them hanging, you know?
Well, you're not going to give them all the answers. You're just going to give them the information as to, hey, look, this is what we're doing. There's all sorts of strategies. Because, I mean, obviously, you can't tell them how to run their money or to run their business. You're just going to help lead them to this to help make a better life for themselves.
I thought the call was after the summit, not before the summit.
Possibly, but it's very nebulous and unclear in the wording of the copy on the funnel.
I agree. But from what I understand, Michael, maybe you can chime in, is that the call we will get told closer to the summit what to do. And that call is to take place afterwards. In the meantime, while they're waiting for the summit, it's creating leads to say to them, hey, Mr. Lead, you know, the reason why you did this is because they're putting this on for us to help us to make even more profits in what we're doing. And we're a real estate investor company. And we can show you how to take your profits that you're making in a business and invest in real estate. So I think that it's the opportunity for you to introduce the lead to one of the world international leading real estate investor companies that's now also offering an opportunity to make profits again. That's me, Anthony.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, ultimately, that's what Bob Snyder said from day one is everyone needs to either be using real estate to make cash flow or to pay less in taxes. And so now we're talking to business owners who their hot button is technically both. And so in the profits, we're going to show them how to pay less in taxes and increase their cash flow. And then we'll use the real estate to say, hey, if you really want to get big tax savings, you need to be in real estate. And we also teach that. I think that's where our strategy session is going to go, Gamer. And if that were the case, then you definitely know how to conduct those phone calls. But I'll get clear on that for you. And I did last week ask for some type of bullet point script. Obviously, we like to use our own words. Everyone's different. So just be aware of that. But I will definitely get your answer and your request in there. Laura asked about more of the structure. What it's going to look like is these 4 days is totaling about 30 hours. Okay. So the interviews are, and again, this doesn't necessarily matter because, I mean, it's only for the details people. A lot of people are just like, all right, I want to learn from rich people how to get rich. Okay, get on. But the other people who need it, you can go get the list of every single person who's being interviewed if you want. But basically, there's maybe between 8 and 10 interviews a day. And they have 24 hours to watch day one. Within 24 hours, all the day one videos will come down and then we'll run day two. And the day two videos, guess what? They'll have 24 hours. And when that's over, same thing with day three. So we're trying to get them to watch as many videos as possible. And then on day four, Bob is going to come out and he's going to do more trainings, more interviews. And so if some of you want to be on, be a testimonial for the Profits course, please email me because we need to get those testimonials here pretty soon. But some of those trainings and testimonials are going to be in there. And then Bob is going to sell the Profits. Okay. As well as other items along the way for sale. Like they could buy the
Hello.
recordings. If we want them to buy the recordings, they could buy the recordings. That's one reason why we're making it 24 hours. Now, you don't need to say that when they go, why is it 24 hours? So I can sell you the recordings. Duh, don't say that. That's not tactical or graceful or clean in any way.
Hey, Michael.
Uh,
Hey, Michael.
yes.
Okay. I just wanna, I heard the concern about the funnel thing, but I'm under the impression that like the strategy call is just for us, like when we receive that, that somebody wants us to call, whoever, registered, whoever the ICM would call them, and then like say, I have a lead, I will just call them and just say, well, thank you for registering for the, for the summit next month. But we also, have free events that I would love for you to get on. Would you be interested while we're waiting for the summit? So then that's when you plug them into profits. You could, depending upon what this person wants to do, you can put him on the, intro and follow up, all this stuff, property tours. So it's basically, that's my understanding from, from listening from the nationals. So looking at that, at least that's what I'm getting at. So basically it's just like a courtesy call and say thank you for registering for the summit. And then while we're waiting for that, because that's still a while away, then let's get you on this thing, and you might be able to sell the education. They might start before even the summit. So
Yep, that's an approach. I don't think that's the same strategy session as what's being offered in there necessarily, but I do see how we can create some continuity with that approach as well. To finish this up, and then just be here tomorrow again. But to finish up the question here, this is what the 4 days are going to look like, Laura. So remember, the whole process of making sales, especially online, is hook, story, offer. So we're making the hook right now. And then the offer or the story is going to be the event. They're going to hear all these stories, all these people, all this amazing content. And then the offer will be buy our profits, buy something about this recording, or buy our other education. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. We're an education company, education sales company. So that's how it's going to look. These are high level, hard to reach people doing these interviews, and so basically, in order to get all that value, we got to capture it right away. Yep.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate the details.
Okay, cool.
Hi, Michael. I'll be glad when we get clarification on that. I just believe that when people as leads check that box, they have a different expectation of what they're going to receive. They think they're going to get a business strategy session. And as an ICM, we're not equipped to give them that. So maybe the wording could be changed so they wouldn't have the impression of us giving them something that we are not equipped to deliver to them.
All right, message received.
Thank you.
I will report back with clarity, and I appreciate everyone's engagement today. And for those of you who are doing our OES Dream Call, go hop on that. I'm gonna hop on this Pat call, and we'll see you guys later.
Hey, Michael.
Yes, sir.
I do like your shirt, by the way.
Oh, awesome. Thanks, Kevin.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it too.
Right on. Thanks, everyone.
Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Michael.